Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with My Hero Academia. Last time on My Hero Academia, we had Game Over. Game over, man. Game over. So continuing on where we left off in episode 10, the students were still trying to defeat the bad guys, some to greater success than others. Meanwhile, Tenya did get out of the USJ to go inform UA of what was happening, and during this, sorry, I forgot everyone's names for a split second. Midoriya, Sue, and Mineta were watching Eraserhead's battle with the villains, and they were watching how he was getting his ass kicked. And eventually Shigaraki realized they were there and almost killed them. Luckily, Aizawa was still holding out as much as he could, and just before Shigaraki could try to kill them again, Midoriya actually tried to smash right in his face. And this time around, when he actually did a smash, his arm wasn't shattered. Hey, isn't that amazing? Of course, he also didn't hit Shigaraki. He actually hit Nomu, the bioengineered creature that they're using to kill All Might. And then at the end, All Might showed up, and he is pissed. And so yeah, that's where we're going. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. And with that out of the way, let's just get right into this episode of My Hero Academia. Here we go. I think that the whole thing between the two of them isn't even like a factor anymore. Like, honestly, who gives a damn? We got other shit to deal with. But it had its time. It had its time. It served its purpose. They went through what they needed to go through. But we gotta set that aside. Again, like Vegeta, we gotta set that aside and focus on the higher threat. Basically, Shigaraki is like Frieza. Oh.
I couldn't shake the feeling that something had gone wrong here when Aizawa and 13 didn't answer my calls.
Yeah.
So I hurried over, running into young Ida along the way.
Really?
He told me of the villainy at work here.
He was already on his way. Oh, yeah, fuck the tie.
I am here.
Untuck your shirt, too.
All Might.
Oh.
He's not smiling.
No, he is not.
I've never seen the guy in person before.
I didn't expect him to be so huge.
Oh, you guys are fucked.
This is no time to talk, you idiots. If we strike now, we can kill him.
Ooh! Ooh, damn, he's faster than I thought he was. We've never really seen him in this kind of action. Ooh! God damn, he is fast. Oh, shit, his hand mask came off.
What the heck?
Everybody back to the entrance, and take Aizawa with you.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much time.
Yes, sir.
Get him to recovery, girl.
But he's not as fast as I thought he would be.
Okay.
Not as fast as he used to be.
Oh, shit.
Guess it's true after all.
He's getting older.
All Might really is getting weaker.
Oh, crap.
Young Midoriya,
Yeah, go!
I got this.
Yeah, fuck yes! Fuck yes, you got this. Okay, man. If you're sure about that.
Carolina!
Aw, shit. The Carolina didn't work.
Try this!
I mean, just keep punching. Hit his brain! That has to be a weak point, right?
Doesn't even matter where I punch you, does it?
That's because Nomu here has shock absorption, All Might.
Shock absorption.
The only
That
way
makes
you're going
sense.
to hurt him is to...
Thanks for telling me how to beat him.
Yeah.
All I have to do is wear him down, and then it's on to you.
Actually, yeah.
Hey now.
All right.
He can figure something out.
There's not really anything we can do to help him now.
Can you guys get a little more hustle?
We'd risk getting taken hostage.
Aizawa's
So
dying.
much worse than just getting in his way.
Punch him right in the balls!
Maybe we were worried about these bad guys for nothing.
Well,
It's unstoppable.
Seems that way.
you do realize you're carrying Aizawa's almost corpse.
But they don't know what kind of trouble he's actually in.
So, yeah.
Come on. What kind of cheap move was that?
What the fuck? Goddamn Phantom Man. Oh!
Will you carry Mr. Aizawa for me?
Ribbit, sure.
He's gonna...
But what are you gonna do?
He's going down there to
Oh
help.
my... I won't let them kill you.
Tag team.
Are you crazy?
There's still so much I want you to teach me. This can't be how it all...
Where's Bakugo, by the way? He went to go help, too. Yes! Oh my gosh! Alright, you take him. Yes, and Todoroki, too!
Kacchan, everyone.
Yes! Let's go. Oh shit. 5v3. Oh my gosh. This is brilliant.
Todoroki.
Would you please take him to Recovery Girl?
Shiba too.
You try anything funny and I'll blow your ass up right now, you got it? They'll be cleaning you up for weeks. Oh, that doesn't sound very heroic.
That's true. Just let him go.
Uninjured.
Whoa! Lost his... he can regenerate, can't he?
How is that thing still moving? He's all messed up.
Stay back, everybody!
Oh no! Ah, it's like Piccolo!
Get him, Nobu.
No. Oh my, he took it, didn't he?
Kacchan? Whoa, that's awesome! You dodged him!
Shut up. No, I didn't, you damn nerd.
Yeah.
That speed. I couldn't even see him coming. How'd you get over here?
How do you think?
Isn't it obvious?
Oh shit.
All Might!
So he protected
He's starting
the
to lose his
child.
shirt.
You think you're the symbol of peace? You're just another government-sponsored instrument of violence.
Wow.
And violence always breeds more violence.
Nah.
Make sure the world understands that once you're dead.
You're nothing but a lunatic. Criminals like you always try and make your actions sound noble. But admit it, you're only doing this because you like it. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
He's got me figured out.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that I barely have a minute left in this form.
Shit.
My power's declining faster than I thought it would.
Make it count.
Because I am.
Oh shit.
The world's symbol of peace and justice!
Oh shit. Oh! Oh! That made some ripples.
He said your quirk was only shock absorption, not nullification. That means there's a limit to what you can take, right?
That's true.
So you were made to fight me, big guy. If you can really withstand me firing at 100% of my power, then I'll have to go beyond that and force you to surrender!
Oh shit. Shatter through your limits.
And every single one of them is more than 100% of his power!
Oh shit. Oh! Oh! Holy shit, this is amazing.
You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
Jesus Christ! Holy shit. Oh, the poor USJ is getting really fucked up. I hope they have insurance. Oh! Holy shit! Oh. Team Rocket is blasting off again.
He must have been punching that monster so fast he couldn't regenerate.
Yeah.
He really is the best.
Hell yeah, he is.
That's how you get to be a pro.
He's still buff.
I really have gotten weaker. Back in my heyday, 5 hits would have been enough to knock that guy out.
Jesus Christ. Hell of a quirk you have.
Today it took more than 300 mighty blows.
Holy shit.
You've been bested, villains.
Yeah, what the fuck do you do now?
Surrender. We all want to get this over with quickly.
You lost your continue.
Cheated.
He did not cheat. Oh, crap! No! Ah, it got me! Oh, man, oh, man. So, now I wonder in the next episode, which is the finale, is he going to reveal to the whole class that he has the weaker form? Okay. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Holy crap, that is a fucking hero. And goddamn, man. Oh my god. That was insane. You know, what did I say like a few episodes ago? I was like, oh man, I want to see an actual fight. You know, I want to see All Might get into an actual fight. Oh, got my wish. I got my wish. Holy crap, we really got to see him in action. You know, I was a fool for thinking that it would have to be All Might and Midoriya facing Nomu. I was a fool to think that. Because I was like, oh man, you know, he's weaker. He doesn't have all his energy back. He can't sustain this form. You know? It's going to have to be him and Midoriya. And I was like, okay, well maybe that'll be like a big, you know, a big moment for, you know, the two of them. A big moment of, you know, the two of them, you know, teaming up. And really showing like a passing of the torch for One for All. Nope. No, that didn't happen. No. Oh my god, All Might is not done yet. He may be older. He may not be in his prime anymore. Oh, but hell if he doesn't shatter through his damn limits. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy shit, dude. Oh my gosh. You know, I keep saying it. But this is, without a doubt, my favorite show that I'm reacting to on the channel. Oh my god, just every time, just each episode gets better and better and better, and oh my god. That was amazing. Oh, man. You know, I mean, now to be fair about what I said about, you know, oh, well, you know, I thought All Might and Midoriya would team up against Nomu. To be fair, the others did have to help him a little bit, you know? To be fair, Kacchan had to take on Kurogiri, and Todoroki helped to contain Nomu, and shit, I never remember the other guy's name, but Arm Dude, he also kind of took on Shigaraki. So they did help. Honestly, it's actually interesting. Midoriya really didn't help. You know? Midoriya didn't actually help that much. He was about to, you know, get flung somewhere else until Kacchan came in and helped. Oh my god. Christ, this is the first season. Oh, man. It's incredible that within the span of an episode, they did actually beat this thing that was designed to specifically destroy All Might. Even at 100% power. And they said, you know, he's not as fast as they thought he would be. Because Shigaraki planned all this, you know? But, you know, he planned for a stronger All Might. He planned for a stronger All Might, and still, they ended up losing. They created Nomu for a stronger All Might, and he still lost. That is incredible, man. And I will say, you know, I was thinking, you know, oh man, it sucks that, you know, Aizawa and 13 did end up, you know, getting the crap kicked out of them and stuff. And it's like, oh man, so that kind of sucks. Like, even though they're pro heroes, All Might's the one that has to come, you know, save the day. But man, All Might did get screwed up too, I will say. Like, this sounds weird, but it's like, I kind of like that, actually. But yeah, actually, it wasn't an easy fight for All Might, definitely. He's walking away with some injuries, you know? He's walking away with injuries, and... oh my gosh. And, you know... the thing is, the last time he forced himself into that form, he said it made him weaker, actually. When he saved Deku and Bakugo from the sludge monster in episode 2. He said later, it's like, yeah, that doing that, forcing myself to use my power then, made me weaker. So, you have to assume that everything he just did here will make him even weaker than that. Which is a shame, I will say. I will say that's kind of a shame that, you know, it gets him weaker. Because honestly, it's like, you know, you kind of think like, well, I wonder if he could train in this form and then, you know, get some of his strength back. Granted, I guess he's sort of looking to retire, you know? He's training the next, you know, user of all One for All. So yeah, that's, I don't know. You know, I was kind of worried, maybe not worried, but, you know, you would kind of think like, okay, he's getting weaker and stuff like that, so that's why. Maybe that's what led me to think like, okay, it's going to have to be All Might and Deku versus Nomu. But it just didn't end up going that way. Midoriya can't keep up with All Might. All Might is way too much stronger than Midoriya. So, and by the same extension, Nomu is also too fast. they really did show off the speed, you know? Because that's the thing, is all we've seen for All Might and for Deku at this point is that we've shown how strong they are, but they showed how fast he is. Like, he is ridiculously fast. Like, you know, when it showed, like, just the thugs, and they're like, oh, I've never seen All Might in person. I didn't think he was that big or something like that. And, you know, we just see one of them being like, you know, hey, don't worry about it. Meanwhile, All Might is, you know, in the distance, and he just disappears. And it just, boom, just an explosion happens, that, you know, as a shockwave from All Might running past. You know? And even Shigaraki is like, I couldn't follow that at all. I couldn't follow his movements. He's just way too fast. But, again, he did say, while All Might is still slower than I thought he was. So that's crazy. You know, it makes you wonder, like, you know, because I almost feel like this is a battle for the books, but at the same time, this is not like, I don't know, it's like, this seems like such a battle for the ages because of how grand it was, but at the same time, this is him, you know, out of his prime. This is All Might out of his prime. You know, the fact that he said if he was in his prime, it would have only taken 5 punches to do what he did with 300 punches. Like, that is insane, you know? Like, what kind of fights did he have, you know, when he was younger? Which I guess they may even show us, you know, either in a flashback or they'll technically show us through Midoriya with how strong he'll get over time. I don't know. Holy crap, that is incredible. So yeah, we're already kind of going to the notes. Honestly, I didn't actually write too many notes. Like, there's not a whole lot to really, like, discuss, I would say. I mean, I've still got notes. We'll definitely talk about it, but at the same time, like, you know, I don't know. It's like, this was such a, I don't know. It was honestly just a fight episode, but it was such an incredible fight episode. Alright. So, the next thing I have written down is the shock absorption, which, honestly, we should also put shock absorption and regeneration. So, those are Nomu's quirks. So, does he have 2 quirks? Is that exactly what they mean? So, that's the thing, is that when Aizawa took away his quirk, he did technically take away something. So, you know, it makes you wonder if Aizawa was still, you know, if he was still, like, good, if he was still a part of the fight, if he, you know, took away Nomu's quirk and then All Might or even Midoriya hit him, then, honestly, that should do some damage. Yeah. Because that's the thing, is, that's the reason why, you know, Midoriya couldn't do anything to him either. So yeah, the shock absorption, that's definitely helpful against. So not only is he incredibly strong, but he also is pretty much unaffected by All Might's punches, All Might and Midoriya's punches. However, that does have a limit, as All Might figured out. You know, I love the way he figures all this out. Which, first of all, you know, Shigaraki just tells him some of this stuff. You know, he tells him Nomu's quirks. He's gloating, basically. But then, because of that, All Might figures it out. It's like, okay, you said shock absorption. That means he has a limit. So you just got to keep hitting him, basically. And the regeneration was also interesting. He's able to regenerate. Which is interesting. You would think that with the shock absorption, like, why would he need to regenerate? But I guess Shigaraki was careful, apparently. Like, he didn't want to take any chances, basically. So, which, good, because, you know, Nomu did lose his right arm and his right leg. So, yeah. Alright, so we did have a team-up. We kind of had a 5v3 for a little bit. Midoriya went down to help. Bakugo came in to take out the Phantom, Kurogiri. And then, Arm Guy, I can never remember his name. It drives me insane. And then, Todoroki, they all came down, which was good. It made sense. Honestly, of all of them, Arm Guy, you probably didn't need, but hey, he was there. He got a few moves in on Shigaraki. So that was good. And then, Todoroki being able to contain or restrain Nomu was good, even if just for a little bit. But that was good that they all came to help, you know. And it's also incredible that all of this happened without any other pro heroes, because, you know, Aizawa and 13 were just completely down, and none of the other pros showed up yet. It's also interesting, All Might was already on his way. That's why he got there so fast. He was already on his way because he thought it was suspicious that he couldn't get in touch with Aizawa or 13. So he decided, okay, I'm just going to have to force myself back into my form, and I'm just going to have to go down there. And so he went down there, and he was going down there, and then ran into Ida, who gave him the rundown of everything that was happening. And that's when he really kicked it into high gear and got over there to save the day. So that was interesting. But yeah, the team up, that was pretty cool. I like, you know, Bakugo's still kind of a dick, you know, even during all this. But they did, you know, they put aside the differences, basically, between him and Midoriya during this, which was good. You need to do that, because, like, there's no time for that in this sort of situation. I like, too, when All Might, you know, gets Bakugo away and then, you know, takes the hit, and they don't realize that All Might did it yet, and Midoriya's just like, wow, Kacchan, you're incredibly fast. How did you do that? And he's just like, shut up, you damn nerd. I didn't do that. It's subtle now. Like, slowly he's like, I guess kind of, I don't know. There's no time for him to be a complete dick right now. So, yeah, that was interesting. And then, you know, All Might taking that hit in order to save Bakugo was cool. You know, and he's that fast that he can actually do all that without any of them noticing. And then, you know, he was like this. He was like this when when it showed him blocking. I kind of wish he was like this. You know, that's the classic Dragon Ball block. But I mean, this works too. This honestly probably makes more sense. So basically, I guess Nomu was punching, and then he just took the punch in one arm and braced his arm. I guess that's what he was doing, or was it on this arm? I don't remember. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, the team up was cool. Even if honestly it wasn't too effective. Midoriya and Arm Guy were not incredibly effective. Midoriya, like, none at all. He didn't help whatsoever. But Bakugo did take on Kurogiri, and that was useful. You know, he kept him pinned down basically, which was good. And Todoroki also helped with Nomu. So in a sense, they did help. They definitely needed to be there so that, you know, All Might could do what he needed to do. And then, yeah, All Might, with only a minute left on his form, was like, okay, I have to. He basically was like, I have to go all out. I have to go more than all out, basically, and he needed to make that minute count, which is interesting, because, and again, to kind of talk more about Dragon Ball, I was almost thinking like, the time limit is also dependent on like how much power he can use. Like, so to tie this into Dragon Ball, like when Goku or Frieza come back from the dead, and they still have the halo, they're still technically dead, but they have a time limit of how long they can be in the mortal world, basically, and the more power they use actually means the less time they actually have. So like Goku in the Majin Buu saga, he keeps having to power up, especially when he has to go to Super Saiyan 3, which he's not used to at that point. It reduces the amount of time from his normal, what he was supposed to have was 24 hours. But the more he uses Super Saiyan 3, the less time he actually has. Like, it keeps draining the time faster than it should. Or the same thing with Fusion, like when they become Gogeta or Vegito, the more power they use, the less time they actually have to be fused. I kind of thought it was like that with All Might. The more power he used, the less time he actually had. But basically, he did figure out, like, okay, I basically have 1 minute left of my power. But in that 1 minute, he used so much of his power and actually surpassed his own power. He used more than 100% of his power, and he used it for that entire minute. So it's not exactly the same as what I thought it was. It is still a time limit, and he has to worry about that. But it's like, I don't know if it's a set time limit or not. Like, maybe after this, after he's used, more than 100% of his power, maybe, the next time he goes into this form, his time will be shorter. I don't know, but it's just an interesting thing to think about. What is exactly, like, how do you determine his time limit, and does him using his power affect that? But in this minute, he used more than 100% of his power. Basically, and again, going back to Dragon Ball Z, I know this show does kind of remind me of DBZ, a lot, which is a good thing, because Dragon Ball is amazing. But to kind of go back to Dragon Ball again, I kept saying, it's like, oh, he shattered through his limits, which is, a term pretty much every Dragon Ball fan knows, when you shatter through your own limits. Because that's always the thing about Goku, is that he has a set amount of limits, but he can break through them. So that's why I kept saying in this episode, like, oh my god, he is shattering his limits. He knows that he can only use a certain amount of power for a certain amount of time, but he's like, you know what? Fuck this, and it's through his own willpower. It's through his own willpower that he keeps going as long as he possibly can, and actually gives more than 100% of his power, and completely and utterly kicks the shit out of Nomu. Like, oh my god. Like, that bitch is in space, I'm pretty sure. Like, holy crap. That was incredible. That entire just fight. And it does, it does cement, my sort of flawed thinking, I guess. Which, honestly, the idea that I had wasn't, it's not like it's a bad idea, but we're not to that point yet. We're not to that point yet where it's Midoriya and All Might facing a foe. Midoriya is not there yet, whatsoever. He could not do this shit. He just figured out how to use One for All without shattering his body. So, yeah, he's not to that point yet. All Might is still far more powerful than Midoriya right now. And more than 100%. He shattered through his limits, beat the shit out of Nomu in this beautifully animated sequence, and gave him a plus ultra, which, we've been hearing that throughout the whole show, and it's one of those things you hear about. It's one of those things you hear about before you watch a popular show. You know, just all I hear is something about Plus Ultra. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Oh, it was basically just a Plus Ultra smash that rocketed that bitch straight up into space. I even love the detail. It's not just that they did it to where he's just flying off into the sky, and you know they do the ding. They did do that, and that's great. I love it when they do that. But I love the extra detail that he actually went through 2 clouds, and they just like got, and they just spread apart from the impact of how fast he was going. You know, and I love that it was a delay too. It wasn't just, but it was to show he's really going far. All Might really launched him far. So yeah, I was a fool for thinking he needed Midoriya. He doesn't need Midoriya right now. He may need a breather. He is sort of out of his powers, so next time we're gonna have to figure out what he does. I have to assume that he's going to reveal to the whole class his base form. But whether or not that is revealed to Shigaraki and Kurogiri, I don't know. He might revert back to his base form in front of them. That would be bad. But we still have the 2 of them to deal with. Now, luckily, we do know how to beat them. You know, even Bakugo was able to take on Kurogiri. So it's interesting. Something I actually didn't write down that I should have, I wanted to bring this up too, is Shigaraki's whole thing about heroes and villains, which was interesting. You know, him saying, these children are angels. You know, one of them tried to, do a smash punch right in my face. He wanted to kill me, and it's like, and, he's basically saying, like, why is violence okay when you're heroic and stuff like that? Because I love his fucking voice. I don't even think I can duplicate it. But, when he's like, oh, it doesn't, you just fucking, why is violence okay when you're being heroic? It's like, no, heroes, they're just another fucking government-funded violence thing. So that's interesting. We kind of get a bit of his philosophy about that. But at the same time, All Might does call him out and is like, oh, don't pretend like you're noble. Don't pretend like you're being, this noble person taking us on. You enjoy what you do. You enjoy the evil that you do. And Shigaraki is like, well, you're right about that. So that was actually very interesting, because it's true, because we saw, like, Midoriya with the intent to at least fatally injure Shigaraki with a smash, and we also saw Bakugo when he had Kurogiri pinned down. He was like, "Don't move, or I will blow you up right here." And Arm Guy was like, "Oh well, is that very heroic and stuff?" And it's true. Honestly, they don't exactly have the temperament to be heroes yet. They're not quite there yet. Like, All Might wouldn't do this because he's, a proper hero. But that was interesting, Shigaraki sort of explaining that, mentioning that. But also the fact that, he's no better, basically. He just owns that he's violent, basically. And he enjoys it, and I like that All Might still called him out on that. Like, it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't, just a, oh shit, he's right about that, and oh well, but it's also like, well, the fuck you, you're evil, and you like being evil. They're at least not evil, fuck you. So yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, and then the last thing I wrote down, we already talked about technically, but the fact that in his prime, All Might could have done what he did to Nomu in 5 punches. Whereas this time it took him 300. That's how much weaker he's gotten since his heyday. But at the same time, even though he's not nearly as powerful as he was back then, he's really fucking powerful. He's still incredibly powerful and sent Nomu into fucking space. So that's incredible. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wrote. Man, that was an incredible episode. Honestly, that kind of felt like the finale, but we do have one more episode left this season. We've got the Season 1 finale, where we are going to have to tie up loose ends, figure out what to do with Shigaraki and Kurogiri, as well as, well, all the other, thugs, all the other criminals that were brought into the USJ. And, we're going to have to figure out what they're going to do. All Might is probably going to have to revert back to his base form in front of everyone. Aizawa and 13 are going to need a visit from Recovery Girl, definitely. Oh boy. I don't even know how Recovery Girl is supposed to work on 13, but I don't know. Aizawa, at least we know that'll work. Poor Aizawa. He really got the shit kicked out of him. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Can't wait for next week when we continue with my favorite show that I'm reacting to right now. So yeah, with that all being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of My Hero Academia reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon, follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.